There is. I've just filled the view with a jar. A jar of Giardiniera. Hello, good afternoon or evening. Where are we even up to? What day is it? It's 6. Is it 6?
Yeah.
Oh God! Good evening, everybody. Hello. I hope everyone's having a lovely weekend in isolation. You're all making the best of it. We're all where we should be. We're all on Twitch and the internet. Let us all play games. Let's all be calm and all have fun. And as ever, the lovely Mrs. Owl is here. Say hello, Mrs. Owl.
Hello.
Hello. Now, as the name suggests, we've got Giardiniera. I don't even know what to start with first. I do, actually. I know what I'm going to do. Because we're going to need them, we're going to start with sterile. Oh, bless you! That was a powerful sneeze. He's halfway across the kitchen.
That's very strong that way.
That was some good running. I like it.
Sorry.
How's it go? You're right now?
Yeah.
That was a big sneeze.
It's because I was holding it in.
You were holding it in. Right, we're going to start by sterilising our jars. Always, if anyone wants to follow on, feels like preserving, having a go, wash them first in nothing more than hot soapy water, and then into an oven that's at 110 degrees. Give it just 10 minutes. What?
Isn't there... Can you put those rubber things in?
I'm pretty sure you can.
Okay.
This could go horribly wrong. Let's see what happens in 10 minutes. Because I've done this before and melted whatever it was I was disinfecting, which is not a good start.
Yes.
Super. Right, I've washed my hands. That is the good important starting point. So what we're going to do whilst they're sterilising is, I think, let's start with the Giardiniera, I think. No, wait, that's a really bad idea because I'm going to put that in there.
Oh, yeah.
Because yours truly misread the recipe again for the jam. I have to do a lot of prep and then leave it overnight. It's not the first time. Not the first time. But whilst we've got it here, if any of you fancy it, go and watch the video of us putting this together. But this has now been sitting for the better part of a week. And you can see all of the liquid there has changed colour. The gas has been flying out. And if I shake it, provided it doesn't lose focus on the camera, you might just see the gas bubbles coming up. Ah, we have Mr. Nosler, we have Joe. Hello to you both. How are you? You enjoying your brand new, or as we all are, isolation ways? I'm going to just try and shake this and see if we can see bubbles. Can we see bubbles coming out? If I just give this a shake, we should see... Just shaking my vegetables at you all. There we are.
I'm sure...
I've just lodged them. Oh, it doesn't matter, we're going to get them out in a minute.
Yeah, I'm sure that you can you not just do the vinegar and salt, vinegar and sugar thing now?
Yeah, I'm going to. That's the next bit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But you weren't doing it because of the...
Oh, yes, no, I'm going to do... Oh, you're right, I can do that. So, yes, I see what you mean. Now, I'm going to take off our caption lid. So that airlock has been letting gases come out and out into the air, but not the air to come in. Now, I'm going to stick my nose in this off camera. Just tell you what it's like once you actually open it. Wow, it's strong and it's fresh. And it, oddly enough, smells really Italian. Hang on, I'm going to hand it to Mrs. Owl. Hang on a second. Less impressed. I'm running worryingly low on beans, as a matter of fact, but thankfully they haven't put a limit on those where I live yet. Well, that's good. I mean, actually, we can't get canned goods where we are out in the sticks for love nor money. Everything is just being sold out. So also, I don't know if you can see, but this is interesting, but, well, it's interesting to me, so I'm slightly nerdy, but you can see, I haven't been shaking it or anything, but all in there is where you've got herbs and some of the pickling liquid, and that has all come, leapt from... raise the camera slightly. From there, it's gone all the way up there and hit the bottom of the lid. So it was very, very powerfully doing its thing. But now we're going to get this out. So the next thing I try and work out is where do I put that? I'm going to make a mess. I'm just going to put it there. So what we do after that is we fish out. In fact, I'll just grab a spoon for this. Or a second spoon. Well, I'm glad at least for those that require beans that they're still in strong supply. We've actually got a few in, but we're now going to treat them as something of a luxury commodity. So we're going to take out our ceramic weights. These kept all the vegetables pushed all the way down. And I'm just going to fiddle with the camera. Sorry, just there we go. And as you can see, you might be able to see, as soon as I've taken them out, he says, trying desperately to... I'm losing my ceramic weight the more I'm... Oh, for the love of goodness, come here. Don't mind me, folks. I'm just fishing around in a Large kiln jar of vegetables. Come on. There we are. Right, let's get that. So we want these out for this next stage. So I shall put that to one side. We then want to combine just for a little pep, a little bit of vim into this, a little bit of sugar. I'm going to use Demerara for this. 3.5 tablespoons. I got told my bean allowance was only 2 tins. Rubbish. Nonsense. Surely you have your rights of passage on all tins of beans. I'm assuming you can turn up to my house and just have whatever you need, Joe. So, I've had anybody just roam across the country. So we want 1, 2, 3 recommendations and a half. That's about half there. And now what we need is exactly, and his preparation, I measured it before, 60 millilitres of distilled vinegar. The only problem is I have scales, but nothing to measure it into. I didn't think this bit through. Just get a... You see, sorry to turn my back, folks, I did not think of that bit. Hang on. I'm creating more washing up where they need to be.
That's not a level service.
It's not a level service. No, let's swap that out. Professional stuff, this, folks. Don't mind us.
How's about what?
How's about? Oh, you're going to remove my vegetables?
Yeah.
That's a good idea, just for a second. Thank you. Thank you. Right. So we're trading vegetables for vegetables. I will mail you some, don't worry. That's good. There you go. That's camaraderie. Sending each other appropriate amount of beans. Right, come on, scale. Right, we need millilitres. There we go. Where's the distilled? And distilled white wine vinegar for anyone that... Oh.
No, white vinegar.
Oh, sorry, yes, distilled white, not white wine. And squeeze. And continue to squeeze. Keep squeezing. Almost. Keep going. A bit harder. Ooh. Trickling a bit. Ooh. This is, invigorating stuff, this, folks. And 60. There we go. Pop that to one side. In that goes. And then we're going to give that a bit of a mix. And we're going to just put that away to one side. No man left behind. How many bean puns do you two have between you, honestly? Right, we're going to mix that in. Get it. Try and get it as deep to the bottom as we can. There we are. Pretty sure. These vegetables are possibly a bit larger than they should have been because I missed out a step last time by accident. Interesting, I spotted a piece of garlic because whatever it was sat next to has turned slightly blue, which is interesting. Sure, it's fine. Sure, it's fine. So we've got a couple more minutes until...
Are you going to try some?
Yeah, do you know what? Shall I try some straight out of the jar?
Oh, yeah.
Can I have a little spoon?
What, can you not use the big spoon?
I'm going to use that to dole it out into the jar, since it's clean, I shall use this little one. Right, what shall I try? A bit of leek?
Sure.
Right. Chug it! That'd be a really short end to this. There we are, let's try some leek. Smells really strong, really fresh. Flipping out, that's nice.
Should you have checked it for botulism?
I should have. Here's a safety tip, which I just didn't follow.
Do you need to...
Yeah, let's do
you
that.
just put vinegar in it is the problem. So obviously now it's going to read as acidic, but...
Compared to the amount of stuff in there. Now what you need to check for, folks, is the alkaline acid level. And you don't want it getting above... You want it very acidic, because otherwise you risk the dreaded botulism. And none of us want botulism. And if anyone follows these recipes, always check for botulism. I don't want to kill anybody. Well, not anyone watching here, you're all lovely.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So grab yourself your little litmus test.
Litmus paper.
Right. It is the test, you said.
It does a test.
It is
But
paper.
it's paper.
Okay, right. And then take paper, dunk in liquid. Wait a couple of seconds. Give it a shake. As everyone knows from science, it then starts to radically change colour. I think that is a 4. Maybe a 5?
If it's 5, then that's not good.
No, I think that's a 4. I think that's fine.
Okay.
I'm satisfied, folks. This is a 4. There we are. You can borrow. You have a pH meter. My goodness, Joe. What is it you do for a living? You've got a pH meter.
Maybe you should get one.
Maybe I should. Not a bad idea.
I'm not convinced that's a...
I think I like this. I think Heinz Bean should come around in these strange times, like the Coca-Cola truck at Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Now that's an idea. Market that one. Don't tell everyone about that. Right. Okay. We've got only a few seconds before we have our jars.
You didn't say how it tasted.
Yes, I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, you then worried. I'll do it again. You were
No,
worried.
how did it taste?
It tasted tangy, fresh, pretty damn delicious. If
Was
we
it
do say
still
so myself.
crunchy?
Still crunchy. Here's some cauliflower and balik.
Really crunchy. But good.
That's good.
Yeah?
I think I could put more chili in. Oh, I don't know. Oh, hello. Oh. 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 Okay. Take that back about the chili. Woo! That's kicked in nicely. Oh, beep. Marvellous. Right, hang on. Shuffle this way. You're not in the way. You're never in the way. The oven mitts. Here we are. So, these having now been in for just 10 minutes and having been washed are now perfectly clean for when we want to put in our preserved and pickled products, and so it's all safe. But before then, because I'm also cooking dinner and I'm trying to think practically, let's get the chicken in the oven as well. This will probably not blow anyone's minds particularly, cooking a chicken dinner. So let's just quickly get these ingredients out of the way. Because unfortunately, I bought this from my local butcher and it doesn't actually have any cooking ingredients on, but luckily I've got them on my apron, which is handy. It's only a little chicken because it's just Mrs. Owl and I. As ever, everyone, stay safe, stay self-isolated. Let's just tip that, not in millilitres, and of course wash your hands between, touching raw meat and whatnot. I'm probably stating the obvious. I'm sure anyone watching this knows not to forget to wash their hands after dealing with raw meat. I'll be honest, I don't know many people that struggle with that particular guidance. So, using a finger that... Oh, no, I'm making a mess of this now. Hang on. Manhandling a chicken on stream, This is quality stuff, chaps. Quality stuff. Right, 0 that. Let's try that again, because this is measured in pounds. So, £2.76. My apron says... Thanks for playing. Go home. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see. Unstuffed for about 1 3/4 hours for 2.5 to 3. So let's do it for 1 3/4 to start with. Get rid of this. Don't need that. A little bit of dry seasoning on. Man handles his big meat on the street. Well, you know what? We've found this with the cooking stuff. Hopefully the computer game stuff won't be quite so full of horrendous innuendo. But honestly, it's the cooking is a filthy profession. It's absolutely filthy. And it doesn't help that now I'm about to massage said chicken and rub some olive oil in. Not olive oil, so granite. Or whatever you've got. Right. Finish massaging the chicken. Not, I should put, a warning, don't come on if you're a vegan. I do some vegan stuff at some point, but I'm not against it, it's just, I'm cooking a chicken. Actually, I had a lovely message, Mrs. Owl had a lovely message from one of her finest friends, who in all of this horribleness going on, and we can't labour on the horribleness, popped around to her neighbour and brought her pureed soup. Zoo wee mama. Calm yourself, Al. Yes, calm down. It's all fine. keep calm and just carry on massaging that chicken. Is not something you'll ever see on a poster. There we are. It's fairly rough and ready, but this is rustic cooked chicken. Right. So let's just hop that over here. Quick wash of the hands now that we're done with chicken massaging. There we are. Right. Do I like sumac? I think I've tried sumac. I can't remember the last time about sumac.
Oh, sumac is what Brad is obsessed with.
I've tried that, haven't I?
Have you?
I don't know actually.
Are you
Maybe
thinking about basil?
I no. Honestly, actually, I'm now not sure I even know what I think I'm going to have to try it. Clearly, if I can't remember it that well, it requires some investigation. That or my memory is appalling. Both could be true. So, with our bird suitably dressed and ready, into the oven. Pop a bit of water onto that halfway through, just to give it a bit of steam. So let's just put that on for an hour. No, an hour and a hour 20, I think. Right, so that's in, so I don't have to worry about that now. Okay, so we are going to clean these in due course. Done them for now. Let's get to decanting some of our very good with poultry in any capacity. Okay. We're going to have to look this up. Maybe this is going to have to be something I've tried. Sumac. Apparently it's very good with poultry. In any capacity. I've seen poultry in many a capacity. Some good, some bad, some less good. Okay, so here we go, here we go. So next tip, let's put that so you can see it. I'm just going to start filling some of these jars. There is a lot of this, so I'm probably going to deploy one small one just so that we can start tasting it with some stuff, and then fill up a larger one on the hopes. You can see all of the vegetables here we've used, they're still retain their shape very much, so that, you know, none of it limp. It's not like the mistake we made with the cucumber and the shallots, where they just got far too limp. It's all very much a solid texture to everything. And here's my blue piece of garlic that I can't quite explain. Very strange. Smells alright. I might, however, keep it out until I've Googled or had a chance to check. Is garlic, when it's turned blue, edible? So here we are. So what we want to do is just fill that as much as we can. And then we're going to pour some of the pickling liquid on top. And then seal that up. There we are. Smurf garlic. It could be. Who knows? It's a cheeky Smurf snuck in. Right, here we are. Pouring gently. Don't get this. So ideally this wants to sit below the line of the liquid, is what I'm learning. And as always, if you're going to be doing this without gloves on, keep your hands very clean, because you don't want to start adding bacteria and whatnot into your lovely pickled products. So let's pop that in there, and then with any luck this will not suddenly splurge all over the place. Voila. There we go. Gargamel Giardiniera. I suppose you could gargle. Again, this is along the lines of chug it though at the same time. It's just, yeah, that's cold enough, that's right. Right, so let's move one of these aside. I think the answer is let's go big for the next one. Let's start to decant in larger form. So I hope you two gents are keeping yourself and anyone else who's watching. Unfortunately, I can't see who else might be watching. I've not yet figured out. I can only see if someone's chatting to me and saying hello. So if there's anyone there in the background, say hello. Don't be shy. I promise we're all very friendly here, as you can tell by nattering it about baked beans and suggestions that I chug pickling liquid. I have tried it with the apple cider vinegar. That was an interesting moment in my life. Quite strong. Gosh, there's a lot of this. I'm seeing the odd whole chili as well, which made... Whoops, daisy. Oh dear. Don't do that, is also a good tip. Don't go throwing your vegetables over the floor. Right, so that's not made it. They did not make the cut. There we are. So once we're done with this, we're going to move on to a fig jam. Or rather, part 1 of fig jam, because yours truly didn't quite read the recipe properly, and it has to sit overnight. But I have to drive across the country, regrettably, about 6 o'clock in the morning. So what I'm going to do is come back tomorrow for jam part 2. Jam harder, yes. Die Hard has helped endlessly in naming everything ever, including Die Hard 5. Whoops, we shouldn't have made that film. Wasn't a very good one, that one. There we are. See, it's interesting because there's a little counter in the bottom left to chatting and to my love over there that says 0 views, but I know there's at least 2 because I'm talking to them. Yeah. So I don't understand that, to be honest.
Apparently you have to click on it.
You see, I did, and I clicked on it and it told me how long the stream had been going. I'll do it again, hang on. So I just touch here. It tells me that we've been chatting for 21 minutes and there's 0 people viewing, which is slightly confusing. I'm sure I'll get the hang of this eventually. I'm sure there's a trick or something I've missed. Right, getting now. Got a slotted. It says 3 viewers for me. See, I can't figure this out because I've got some people saying they never get notifications. And I think it was you, Mr. Nozzle, saying that last time you got the notification about 5 minutes before we were due to finish. Yes, and mine says 0. I'm assuming that I'm not one of the 3. Hello, number 3 viewer, whoever you are. Hello. Come say hi if you want. You can quietly watch us spoon our vegetables. It's quite frustrating because I think this is going to be just more than these 2 jars. I suppose I could just leave these out and eat them this evening. They're quite nice, actually. Yes, can't not do that. Don't go for the 3rd jar just for a handful. Right. I too had a 35-minute belated notification. You too, Joe. I can't wait. I think I'm going to have to send a message to the powers that be of Twitch and say, what is going on? I'll probably add more explanation than just saying, what is going on? That's a fairly broad question. Oops, so daisy. Right, let's just keep that pushed down. So we are almost there. Marvellous. Right. There's only a little bit left now in the jar. In fact, you can see we've gone all the way down there. I'm going to just, instead of keeping you chaps and watch as I chase vegetables around a jar, I'll spoon them out. I think I'll just nibble on them later. Interestingly, there's obviously a lot of good stuff there at the bottom, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get to that. I can try. In fact, I might just try that later. Just get a different spoon and be a bit pedantic about it. You're correct, but this time the notification was just fine. How strange. Sorry, gents, I don't quite understand that. Bear with me. I'll get it working. I'll get it working properly. Oops, a daisy, he says as he overfills this jar colossally. Oh no! Oh no! 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 Oh bother! That is not what we needed. Done it again, Mrs. I'm making mess. I'm making a lot of mess. Right, I'm keeping out that piece of garlic. In fact, I'm going to just... How's that? Work of art. Right, I'm going to move this out the way for now. I'm going to take the Giardiniera too. I think this has been a very successful experiment. We're going to repeat this again in due course, on stream or not. Maybe we'll try a different recipe. We'll try a different balance of bits and pieces. Fat. You did say, Mr. Nosler, chug. I won't chug. Let's just try the liquid, just see how much taste you get from it. Actually, that's rather pleasant. I thought that would bite more. Unfortunately, I can't keep it endlessly. If I can think of something to do with it immediately, I'll deploy it into action. Now, I've made such a mess of this, I'm going to actually just sub this out and get a brand new. Let's just clear up before we go for round 2, shall we? Give that a good wipe down. Lovely. Lovely. Right. So, we've got bags of time until I've got to chop vegetables for a roast dinner, which look lovely. So what we'll do, let's go for the fig jam. Now, this was, in all fairness, Mrs. Owl's idea, and we're going to do this again in due course, but thanks to, as you guys are spotting, you can only buy certain things in supermarkets at any given time. It's all a bit difficult. I couldn't get anywhere near where we live, or even as I was travelling, figs. So what I've got is a dried fig. So just wave my figs. I've looked for some guidance online. It doesn't say you can't make a jam with a dried fig, and it's not told me even to do anything differently. So we're going to give this a go, but we're going to do it again as and when everyone stopped panic buying toilet roll and apparently figs. I don't know if the two correlate. Let's just quickly wash the old hands before we move on to doing our jam. But yes, well, I'm glad at least the notifications worked for this one. Terribly strange though. So first thing you do, and I'm going to take us through this, the first thing you do if it's not a dried fig is top and tail it and remove the skin. Now, and I thought this would be the case, I'm going to show you just once I've inverted commas topped and tailed it. Lean in here. What you probably can, if I get the camera to focus on it, there's nothing for me to peel here because that's already dried. What it's talking about is with a normal fig is you've got obviously the skin, you can top tail it, you take it off, and then it's that vibrant colour on the inside.
That does have the skin though.
It really doesn't though.
Okay.
It's because it's dried. Can eat it straight away. In fact, I'm going to try it. See if. Well, actually, I suppose strictly speaking, I mean you can eat it, but yes, maybe I should just take this outer shell off. But yes, that's what we're going to do. So, time for a little bit. You know, if I had the gaming computer up and running, this is where I could put an overlay and just play some relaxing music as I skinned fig. I could sing some relax. You have just teed me up to a world of conundra. Any requests, folks? I mean, this could genuinely take me a while. So what we might do is just demonstrate this, because this could actually take me hours, I think, to do. I had not quite realised. I suppose, because that then, we're not interested. It looks more like the inside of a fig. Just take that like that. However, that is going to be painstaking and take me a long, long time. How many of and also yes, oh god, there are a lot of these. Well, I mean, then we'll both be stood here for hours, to be fair.
It will halve the work and hopefully speed it up.
I was certainly never saying no to help. But I think you might need somewhere to sit, because otherwise... I've got backup coming, folks. But I'm going to get a second opinion from the chef of this afternoon, who's been making soup, lentil with a French name. See, look there, I've taken the skins off them.
Okay, this is so not going to work.
Well, I mean, it says it will work. Just say yes to the sous chef. Yes, Alice. Alice Penn. Yes, as ever. Say yes to sous chef.
Oh, this is. What does it taste like to eat?
Right, I'll tell you what.
Dried.
I'm gonna just. It's gonna take away from the total weight, but I'm gonna try one on. It's very nice, actually.
Is it okay with the skin?
Yeah, perfectly. The skin is soft as anything.
Maybe just top and tail them.
Maybe just top tail.
This obviously you don't want in it, but like we can't. That's just going to take forever.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
They taste nice, though. Just look, I'm now eating the ingredients. Hang on. Yeah, don't do that.
I told you that we shouldn't have.
Well, I wanted to.
Okay.
So here we go. And Alice, hope you're well. All well in your corner of the world. So, there are 740 grams worth of these to chop.
Okay.
So, tell me something interesting, chat. Tell me how your days go. Oh.
You get a different knife.
Right.
Let's go.
That was a commandeered situation. I like that. Hang on, I've not used this one yet. Right. However, I am to be careful with sharp knives and sharp things because the last time I wasn't paying attention, I cut through my finger.
I don't know if I was meant to cut that.
Yeah.
Oh. So you're quartering them, are you?
Yeah, it just says into chunks, really.
Okay.
Because it's all going to sit in its nice. I'm going to get some of these out. So folks can
They look
see.
so unappetizing.
They will look better when they are jammed.
When they are jammed.
That's the official term, folks. What are they? Jammed. If you're making a marmalade, what are they? Marmaladed.
You should make a marmalade.
Oh, we will. Any requests, folks, for a particular type of marmalade?
Classic marmalade.
I made a TikTok at work today, so my life is very much going down the path. I've heard of TikTok.
Was it a dancing TikTok?
Yes, what sort? Can you share it with us, Mr. Nozzler? Stick it on Instagram or something. I suppose, it's on TikTok. I suppose it was on TikTok. I wouldn't know what to do with it, to be fair. I'm just about catching up with the modern world. Now, this one's an interesting one to cut. It has literally been run over. Run over fig. Ooh.
Oh, I wish we had normal figs.
Me too. I don't know if I was just saying to the chat, it's bizarre that why you can't get... Why people are panic buying certain ingredients mystifies me.
I don't think anyone has panic bought figs.
But normally you can get figs, even for us out in the sticks.
Yeah, I know, but maybe they just didn't have a delivery.
Could be. So here we are. Quality television here, folks. Two people chopping dried figs. But it's good fun. It might be you're meant to remove the skins as they'll toughen up in the pickles. Maybe. I think this one is just genuinely going to have to be a this is not going right experiment.
We could sieve the skin afterwards if it becomes an issue.
That's true, yeah. I mean, we are going to do the overnight thing that begins with M, and I keep mispronouncing it. Not marinating.
Oh, that process?
Yes, that one.
That one that Brad always says. What is it?
Alison. No, that's Garlic.
Did you talk about Alice?
Life is too short to skin a fig. That belongs on a t-shirt. So yeah, I think that you both may have hit on the answer. Is we go once we're finished with the process, and if the skins have naturally sort of separated themselves, I'll be able to fish them out. Otherwise, this is going to be a particularly interesting fig jam. We'll have to do fig jam Mark II when we actually can get a hold of the ingredients. Oh, what's Mr. Nelson saying? Oh, it was a dancing one. We had nothing to do for 4 hours, and my colleagues dragged me into it. If I have anything to do with it, however, the video shall never see the light of day. Oh, I tell you what, you've seen me dancing as a sea shanty. Can't say that quickly. We're delighted to see it if you ever show it, Mr. Nozzler. I am sure you cut a rug, as I think the saying goes. Does it go like that?
I don't know.
Cutting a rug?
Sure.
Yeah, let's just say yes.
Do you remember that shaft, that fire shaft? that was like open 8 days a week and Sundays.
Oh yes, we drove past a shop once and it's open 8 days a week, including Sundays. It's like, that's impressive advertising. I'm confused, but I'm interested to go in and see what on earth's going on. Like Doctor Who shop.
Oh my god, some of these are horrible. Who is eating these?
We are.
Oh yeah. But I mean, like in general.
In general, I don't know. I must admit, dried, it's not as appealing as when it's.
It doesn't look nice.
Don't have it on my phone. Sorry, not sorry. Ah, you've dodged a bullet. Dodged a bullet there.
We're nearly there.
Yes, we are. Thank goodness we didn't decide to skin these.
Well, we're probably going to live to regret it.
Well, look, if it doesn't work, I'll eat it.
Okay, cool.
Usually you soak them. Well, the rest... interesting. Well, the recipe didn't call for that, but maybe that's what we're all thinking when we're getting at what's happening overnight. 'Cause it's going to be going in with the...
No, you'd soak dried, not fresh, and you're working from a fresh recipe.
I see. Well, maybe I should just soak these then.
Oh.
We're nearly there. We're nearly at the end zone. Soak them in beans. Well, now this jam is going really off-piste. This is This is what are they called?
I don't know.
I've forgotten the name.
Heston Blumenthal.
Yeah, that's a very Heston Blumenthal level. Oh, I've lost a fig, and I can't really bend down because otherwise you'll all see my face. That was a good kick of the foot. That's marvellous. Right, go over and get it here. Right. Right. Also, it acts as a second purpose. I'm now soaking it.
Oh, to see what happens.
Not very much happened.
No, but that's not soaking it. That's just getting it a bit wet.
Yes, I think macerate. That's it. That's the word I was looking for.
That's not. Is that what happens with jams?
Overnight. I think macerating them overnight.
What does that mean?
No, that was in answer to Lady Decaffeinated Al saying they're horrible. Oh, I see. Oh, right. I see, Alice. We're with you. You know what? Let's do a bit of cleanliness. Let's get rid of all of these. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm going to bang it together. Right, hang on, folks. Showing my flank to you. Chicken smells nice.
Yeah, it does.
Right. Pardon me with the waste bag.
Okay,
This is another one. Oh.
Yeah.
I just call it quits then.
No. We're almost there. Then what do you have to do after the figs?
That's a good question.
Do you know?
I do know. Do you see how confidently I said that?
It wasn't very confident.
Well, I'm full of confidence. I'm brimming with confidence. I can tell you because they're in shot. I'm going to do something with this orange, that orange, and that lemon.
Are you going to make sure that you've unmaxed it?
Yes. There we are. Should get rid of our fig ends. Bang. There we are. In fact, whilst Mrs. Al's doing a sterling job, I might just do that straight away. Let's just wash all of our various fruits.
Oh, so sticky. I'm just there. I don't want to do that one.
Has Mrs. Owl had acrylics put on? Over to Mrs. Owl.
I have, yeah.
Joe, good knowledge.
How does Joe know this?
Joe, I'm impressed.
I mean, I had them put on quite a while ago now, so
they need touching up.
They do, but given that I can't really leave the house.
We're in quandaries as to how we deal with that one. I'm getting a really warm arm from the chicken. Good knowledge there, Joe. Clearly will serve you well. You impress someone on a date or something. Oh, those acrylics. Ooh.
I don't know if that would be
Would that have impressed you if I'd known that?
No, I think I'd have just been
confused.
Yeah.
Okay, Joe. The advice is you can do them.
Oh wow!
Go, Joe. I'm sure. Joe, what is it? I know you. Don't you and Mr. Nozzle work together? I thought. What does he?
Well, you can come round here and have beans, and
yes, we'll make you bespoke beans.
We'll exchange beans for nails.
I'll do bespoke gourmet beans. Thank you very much.
That's okay.
From 6 foot away. Yes, that is the current problem with doing anything, quite frankly. Joseph is an acrylic connoisseur, as a matter of fact. Oh, well. I am suitably impressed. Right, so whilst I'm being suitably impressed, I shall swap that there. So we've got a whole bunch of figs. Now, I can go 2 routes at this point. I can either soak these in the hopes that it will soften them up and help the jam, and prepare everything else and then combine them together.
What's the recipe?
The recipe is for a jam that is not made with dried figs.
And then you said that you'd looked it up and you could see there was no problem. So
yes.
Did you look up a dried fig jam recipe?
I looked up making jam with dried figs.
And then what did it say?
It said, it's fine. It did genuinely say there's no problem.
There was no recipe?
No.
There was no advice?
Not really.
Just, I don't know.
You know what? I'm going to go on the basis of...
Do you want me to look it up?
No, I think I know what I'm going to do. I've got it. Right. Okay. We're going to follow the recipe. And I love the chuckles that I get from stage left. But what I'm going to do is, instead of leaving it for it says 8 hours or overnight, I'm going to leave it even longer than that, in the hopes that, because what's going in is the zest. We're then going to peel the oranges and then discard everything but the flesh. Then the flesh goes in of 2 oranges. Then you've got the full juice of a lemon. Plus it says, technically speaking, alcohol and sugar. I wasn't originally going to put alcohol in, but I'm suddenly wondering about putting just a spot of our gin in. Oh, hello. Mrs. Al's got something. Hang on.
Right, so these people use dried figs.
Mm-hmm.
And they just simmer it for a few minutes with sugar and water, and then puree it in a food processor, and then that's it.
Okay,
well, that's the jam.
In that case, that reassures me that this should work.
So, and it said they didn't have to go through the canning process. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what the canning
process
is.
Is that the leaving it overnight process?
I'm pretty sure that began with an M.
They use 1 cup granulated sugar and 1 cup water, and then juice from 1 lemon. And then they put vanilla extract in theirs.
Oh, right. Well, we could. Yes, I think I'm going to do an adaptation of the 2. And the good news is if it all goes wrong, I'll eat it. And then you can have a proper...
Does this mean that you want to keep my phone so that you can see what's going on?
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'll be alright.
Are you sure?
As sure as I am of anything.
I'll open it in Chrome.
Just in case I need to run across and be like,
Yeah.
Make sure you zest one way, like your brother, your boyfriend said to brother. Good memory. Well done. Yes, quite right. Let's do this properly. As my brother.
Aye.
Yes. Because the tip being you don't want to blunt your implement.
Aye, so why were you...
Because I was being absent-minded, but Joe, eagle-eyed as he is, spotted it and steered me back to the correct path. So I'll just...
Sorry, I mean, you're
not in the way. I just realised that I was being a very bad Twitch presenter and not showing anything.
I'll have a pocket coffee.
You're going to have a... Oh,
do you want one?
I would love a pot. Why are we whispering? These guys aren't going to rat us out.
Chris.
The simmering is the equivalent of soak. Well, in that case, that's good, because then this will soak twice over, Alice. It'll soak overnight, and then it'll soak when we simmer it. So it should be very, very soft and tasteful indeed.
She said there were 3, but there were 4.
There's 4 left.
Yeah, that means we have 2 more.
They're 2 excellent. We've shown you the pocket coffees, haven't we, folks?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure we have.
Yeah, I remember doing
But
this exact
buy these
move.
from Amazon if you can. They are, well, when Amazon starts doing its non-essential deliveries. They
this is pretty essential.
Yes, I think, to be honest, speak to an Italian, and it is fairly important in life generally. I'm now going to speak to you with perfect diction, with a chocolate in my mouth. I'm going to try. Top quality television, folks.
Delicioso.
Well, that's a spot of coffee, this porter caffeinated soul needed. But are Mrs. Owl's nails are sparkly? Joe, he's guessed the colour of your nails. Burgundy? No? Ooh,
Well,
sort of.
I mean, they're actually, I don't know. Burgundy is like a deep red.
Deep red, yeah.
These are like a deep purple. The
Smoke on the water.
yeah. The name of the nail varnish was Vampire, so
Ooh,
it appealed to me.
you get your fangs into that.
That was awful.
Da-da-da-da-da. Hey, thank you. I'm here all evening. Possibly at the rate that I'm grating this orange.
No, right.
I'm taking my sweet time.
Luckily,
Orange
it's 15 minutes for the chicken.
Oh, got the chicken. I forgot the chicken. Right, hang on. I need to be ready for
Basting.
basting and doing accoutrement.
So is it the zest of 2 oranges?
It's pretty much the whole of 2 oranges. So we're zesting it, and then we're cutting it, and then we're getting rid of all the pith and everything else.
Yeah.
And then the flesh goes in. So it's actually,
right.
in terms of a recipe, I rather liked it because it uses a lot of the oranges, not just zest and discard. Not that we would. We'd have, thrown it on a cereal or something, or a bowl of yogurt. So just going to try and painstakingly do this and not get too much pith in it. Yes, you two are gentlemen of the world, aren't you? Beam connoisseurs, you know about acrylic nails. You eagle-eyed, you can even spot when someone's going the wrong way on a grater. That's, I am suitably impressed. But it has been a nice busy day in the kitchen, this one. It's nice to see as well, there's an end that we were watching as well. Ooh.
Sorry.
Dare I turn around? What? Ah, we're throwing Tupperware around.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone's fine. Stay calm, everybody. Keep calm and occasionally scream as things fly across the...
I was going to just put the soup away because I didn't want it to be...
Getting that skin on it.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Novel has got an impressive scream emoji, I think. Very good. Yes. It's like the loud bang. We never did work out what the loud bang was.
No, we didn't.
I'm starting to think it wasn't our house. It really did seem like it, but there was nothing anywhere still.
No, I think it
Must have been a neighbour, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, there we go. That's doing absolutely nothing. So yes, what was I saying? Let's separate that, take that away from one more.
That you used up the whole orange.
Oh yes, and we also had today some fun watching a Twitch stream from a gentleman who runs a store that we frequented a long time ago in Manchester. And he is, whilst he's having difficulty in his downturn of work, he is returning to Twitch. So we had a nice time watching him play some Rust. It must have been the Rice Krispies or a landmine. Yes, that pesky landmine collection I keep in my keep upstairs. I don't tell anybody about it though. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell them your name, Pike. Oh dear. So there's clearly quite a lot of pith still on there, so I'm going to try and get some of that off. best I can. I wonder what the best way to do this is. Really, I don't want any of this. Suppose, can I just peel this into segments, maybe? Is that going to make it worse? That I feel might have made it worse.
What have you been doing?
I'm just trying to work out a way to get the... Phooey? What?
I just got soup on the table.
Soup everywhere. We're doing well here, folks. I need to get as much pith off this as possible.
Yeah, use a knife.
Yeah. Suppose if I just go with the grain of it, maybe.
I don't think.
It's like sort of doing a prawn. I don't want to lose too much of the flesh, though.
No, you're doing good.
A little bit of exact knife work here.
Good.
Let the knife do the work. There we are. Pith removed. Almost. In fact, I'm going to eat this bit. That's good. Doesn't really go with the pocket coffee, but
Chocolate orange.
Hey, chocolate orange. Good point. Right, so that can then go in there. I'll bring that back in a minute whilst we carry on with our exacting and careful knife work. Always be careful, folks. Keep your knives sharp. Pay attention to what you're doing, so I apologise if I miss anyone. Pantry door fitted. Good point. We get one with a slow close. There you are. Or indeed, I suppose I could just not stack the tubs like a twit, which is normally the reason why anything falls out. Okay. Oops, a daisy. The orange is escaping. Come back. Yes, I think I really do need some background music for you folks whilst I'm just basically intricately peeling an orange. Let's just show you what I'm... Basically just run the knife left, right. Very little force.
Why don't you sing some Bon Jovi?
Tell me one of his songs.
That, like, You Give Love a Bad Name.
Oh, shot through the heart, and I'm to blame, who give love a bad name. There's spoken word versions of it.
That's horrendous.
That's horrendous, is it? Boom, boom.
There you go.
There we go. One part sings, the other one jiggles his hands. That was my contribution whilst you sang. What do we think, folks? X Factor next? Take the world by storm? Living on a Prayer has some fantastic guitar. So it does. Reminds me of my university days.
Does it?
Yeah,
When I said sing Bon Jovi and you were like,
I'm going to admit, rather embarrassingly, I thought that was Aerosmith. Oops. Sorry, folks.
So sing some Living on a Prayer then.
Whoa. It's a good start. Well, we're halfway there. Whoa. Whoa. Living on a Prayer.
That was more like, Where Marley
And Molly. Woo. Yes, we do children's parties. Badly, but we do children's
Can
parties.
you imagine if you hired someone as a child entertainer and they came in and did Marley
Liam
and
Marley with a pair of, Ghost. Thank you for your 5 minutes. Yes, you're fired. Oh, right, okay, fine.
Done.
Marvellous, thank you, love.
You're welcome.
What's my time check on chicken?
42.
42, right, hurry up a bit.
Yeah, because the veg will need half an hour.
Yeah, so I've basically got 12 minutes to do...
To make a whole jam.
To make a whole jam, get it... not masticating, macerating. Yes, it's not... Well, I suppose it is chewing things over overnight. It's thinking, how much do I want to be a tasty jam? I really want to be a tasty jam. So I shall be a tasty jam. Is what I'm going to channel its thoughts to be. Right, I'll move a bit quicker. And lose
Can I help in any way?
Cheering crowd.
Woo!
Woo! We're halfway there. Literally we are now. We've done one orange. Oh, that bit's falling apart. Aerosmith. Oh dear. Yeah. Yes, I know. So I know the songs. It's like streets sometimes. I know where a street is in a city,
But you don't know the name.
but I don't know the name. So often I'll direct someone and say, "Well, you take a left at that bit and take a right over there. Go straight a bit more, and you'll get there eventually." And helps absolutely no one at all, because how on earth does a normal human being use those directions? Oh, there's another one in the fridge.
Yeah.
Mrs. Owl's making herself a rather nice white wine spritzer, whilst I am making a mess. But I'm going to do it in under 12 minutes. This is like the 10-minute challenge all over again. The Voice's next winners. I can imagine a lot of people not turning their chairs around when they hear that.
What's that show called where they have to wear like...
Masks.
Yeah, what's that called? Masked Singer or something?
Yeah, and wasn't it a comedian who won it and he was dressed as a squirrel?
Jason Manford. It was Jason Manford, right?
Tom Jones would certainly turn his chair. I'm more worried these days Tom Jones wouldn't... What?
Mr. Owl loves Tom
I'd-
Jones.
Okay, this has been a...
Absolutely loves him. What's New Pussycat? All that stuff.
This has been an ongoing joke for our entire relationship, is because I was put on the spot once and said, what music do you like? And I was at the time enjoying the more recent blues music of Mr. Jones. And now it has been the case that I'm apparently his biggest fan and run around singing What's New Pussycat? Whoa, oh, whoa, oh, whoa, whoa. I do not.
Well, you just did.
Well, oh, fine. You teed me up because you're clever. Well done. Bravo. Okay, here we are. We're getting there, folks. I think, to be honest, I'm going to keep this to one side. I might have a little yoghurt and orange as a dessert.
I thought you were using both of them.
I am. I mean, these bits here, am I right? Because they're perfectly good. It's just not for a...
Yeah.
You don't want it in a jam particularly. Oops, a daisy. Lies. You love it, really, I'll be honest. This is getting away from me now. I've lost control of the Tom Jones of the Tom Jones story here. Though I will thoroughly recommend his blues music. It's cracking stuff.
Whose do you prefer? Tom Jones's or Hugh Laurie's?
Ooh, good question. Probably have to go for Mr. Jones by a hair's breadth.
Ooh, see? You love him.
Oh dear. So what we're on music. What's everyone listening to at the moment now that we've all got a lot more time to listen to music and indeed make TikToks and dance videos? Mr. Nozzle, don't think we forgot about you. Still going to try and unearth that. Mrs. Owl has some uncanny research skills. I'm sure she might be able to assist us there. Right, there. I sped up and we've got 2 oranges done. What's
Well
next?
done.
Peel, discard, remove the pith, segments into chunks, combine the zesty flesh. Well, that's a sentence. The figs, lemon juice, alcohol and sugar. Would you mind grabbing for me our pink gin?
Yeah.
Thank you. Right, let's bring back the bowl, because have a look at this. It's looking good. Let's give it a bit of a stir. But here we are. Tom Jones, a national treasure. He is indeed. Fine fella. I'm not saying anything against his early works, I just prefer his later works. Oh, damn. I have been listening to mostly death grips. As in Darth Vader, the choky noise. What was it you found? The Who as well.
Oh, yeah.
H-U, The Who. Marvellous. Look them up on Spotify. They're great.
Mongolian
rock band. Fantastic.
Here's your pink
Marvellous. We've got the... if you remember, chaps, of course, there's the pink gin that we made a while ago. Can blow your head off at 500 paces. You see that recipe book right there at the bottom, isn't it?
Yeah.
Could you just look up how much alcohol it's suggested to put in and how much sugar?
Alcohol, it says 100 ml.
100 ml.
And then 800 grams of granulated sugar.
800?
Well, yeah, but remember that you haven't got the right amount.
Yes.
When you halving it.
Yes, halving it, so 400 grams.
400 grams and then 100, so then 50 ml.
50 ml of the booze. This is a half portion, folks. And I might actually start to put these recipes online. Might be a good idea. Let's get rid of that. Let's pop that. Oh, no, I'm going to have to clean that. Hang on. Oh, it's a daisy.
Yeah, good.
Give that a bit of that. No, they are a band, although Darth Vader would definitely make a worthy addition to the trio. Right, pop that down. Thank you. It's team effort here because I need to get the veg done too. Right, where did the sugar go?
So
Scales are telling me something
400.
funny. Out 2. Please don't break. We do need you to carry on working. Right, hang on. So recenter. And then we need grams. Marvellous.
Okay, 400 did you say?
Yes, if that's half. 4.
Yeah.
Jesus, is that nearly the whole bag?
Well, this bag is only 500 grams.
327, 359, 68, 380, 388, 89, whoop, 394, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yep, there we go, 400. So, whoever said jam was good for you, well, no one's ever said jam was good for you, it's clearly not good for you. I need a spoon. Spoon! And I think give this a little, let's get this mixed in. And then I think the best thing to do is we're going to pour the booze on top. How much booze is it? 50 ml.
Yeah.
And then this is going to sit overnight. And in fact, probably well into tomorrow, because I'll start my stream when I get back from my travels across the country. I shall try and put an ETA online if I possibly can. And what we'll do is we'll just finish this up as a little quick burst and a hello to folk.
So
Use the force to turn that fairy liquid into platinum. Guarantee you we cannot get fairy liquid where we are right now. Goodness gracious. Yes, love.
So, even though the recipe that I found for dried figs didn't require you to leave it overnight, you're still going to leave it overnight?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to make this the tastiest, most imbibed recipe I possibly can.
Did you put the alcohol in?
I have not. Right. So, no, out 2. What's this? 2 business. Stop it. There. Right. Recenter. Then millilitres. Yes, right. Now this stuff doesn't have a pack a punch, so maybe even not go even less than 50. Maybe just 25. That's not actually very much, is it?
Just put in the 50 if you
Go
want
for
to put
50.
50.
Go for the 50.
If it's horrible, you can...
Whoops, 56. This is going to be a boozy version, folks. Right. Pink gin. Say hello, say goodbye. Right. There we go. We have booze, we have fruit, we have sugar. Now, we're going to come back to this tomorrow. Gents, if you're around, it'll be lovely to see you then for the unveiling. But otherwise, I shall make sure it's saved and you can come and watch what happened in due course. There we go. Of course, best laid plans of mice and men. I'll find I'm kept across the country until the evening. And then we'll show up sometime at midnight and make jam. Right.
Is it meant to be kept in the fridge?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I was until you asked me. Let's put that away. There we go. Right. Vegetables. I need a small container. Slightly racing against that. To be honest, if the chicken needs a bit longer, it can just sit for a minute. Do you want to boil in the kettle? How much of that gin have you consumed thus far? Not much. Not a huge amount. I've had a little bit. It's very, very strong indeed. I mean, at some points ridiculously strong. But very tasty. I'm very grateful to RCKP for their marvellous addition to the stores. But I'm reliably informed by my mother that one of my father's duties, whilst he is in isolation, is to plough through some of the many, many bottles of wine that he's kept in the garage. A hardship, I am sure. Give me just 2 seconds, folks. Go. Oh, that's a mess. Quick wipe down. No one is groggy currently. Well, we may be after this jam. It may be a case of saying, for the love of God, don't have your toast and your jam and then drive. Ah. Now, obviously, I did this in advance, but always wash and prep your vegetables, especially if you're buying them from your local greengrocer. But to be honest, it's probably good practice just to do it anyway. No one is well, apparently, there is some suggestion that getting yourself absolutely hooted is the way to deal with this particular virus. It has absolutely no scientific basis, but it is probably very fun testing out their theory for you. Well, you'll never know if it works if you stay in isolation like you should. There we are, right. I need a bowl. I've got one somewhere around here. Whee! There we are. So, last but not least, just a tray of baked vegetables to go with our roast chicken. Did you fancy stuffing, love? Yeah. Yes. Yes. Marvellous. Oh, right. Quick, rough slice and dice. So yes, we're inching ever closer to being able to intersperse with the odd computer game here and there. Inching closer. It's hard to know week by week what we can and can't do. Innuendos are everywhere. Honestly, I can't believe, how many fly about in the kitchen until I start talking. It's not just me, I hope. Sure it's not. Sure. Well, I made a pig's ear of that. So chop quickly. Because I'm slightly under where I wanted to be. Which actually, the exact point in case in point. It would have been really nice to do the Gordon Ramsay 10-minute challenge again, but we can't get a hold of the necessary ingredients, which is a bit of a shame. Right. Get our washed. What the heck? Just go nicely with something. Use it all. Got no other meals planned for it. So away it goes. Bit of speed work here. And a peeler that's fighting back. The blade is on back to front. That's not very helpful. swap that around. Let's try that. That's better. So, hopefully, I've not played with the Twitch extensions yet, but it might be that there can be a voting system on it if anyone has any preference for any of the games that we have got. We've been chatting about it, and we think we're going to try to do midweek some sort of relaxed things that we can just play together downstairs and chat to you fine folk. And then perhaps at the weekend and in the evenings we'll intersperse with something a little heavier along with our cooking and our various pickles. This is not the best looking onion, in fact. Nope, not happy with that. What games are you planning on streaming currently? I'll tell you in a moment, but just for cooking purposes, I don't know, try and give what guidance I can. Simply put, onions should not look like that.
Oh, is it a bad one?
It is, unfortunately. The flesh of it has gone, I mean, look, I can actually, it's almost elastic actually, and it's changed colour slightly. There are some people that he'd say, well, hang on, yeah, just trim around it, the inside will be fine, but the more I'm going down through... That's not very good then. The more I'm going down, the more I'm finding bits that just, sadly, it looks like it's gone all the way to the core. And if that is the case, sometimes you might be tempted just to cut just a little bit off if the rest of it looks like a perfect onion. But because that seems to be all the way through, I'm afraid I shan't risk that. So let's get a second one and hope we have a better bit of luck with this one. What games are we planning on streaming currently? Honestly, I've got such a large backlog in the library, I'm sort of spoilt for choice. In fact, we were planning to get the computer much quicker than this, so we actually sat down and bought just some nice gentle games, and I've actually completely forgotten what we even bought. I know Ibanob is in there, which is a nice two-player one that myself and Mrs. Owl will play. And I've got games in there ranging from, well, I've got PUBG, we've got, you know, if you ever want to see how not to... Broforce, yes indeed, Broforce comes the call from the left. If you've never seen Broforce, brace yourselves. It is unmitigated action, wall-to-wall, the highest spec graphic you can ever expect to see in 2D. It's just great fun. But yeah, I've got a range of stuff from first-person shooters to puzzle games. LA Noire, I love that. Been a long time since I've played that. Could give that another run through. I don't know, a whole host. I'm kind of hoping there might, as I say, there might be one of these extension things which will let the chat see what's sitting. Yes, now there you go. RimWorld, love a bit of RimWorld. Oh, Stellaris. I bought some basically some space exploration games just in case we're having the plan is to have a relaxed evening, have a high definition flight through the stars, and just sit and chew the fat with everyone who's in chat. Here we are. As ever, I like to show this off. Nice bowl of veggies. Simple, super. Now we're going to get them seasoned. We're going to take our sterilised jar, pop that away because we didn't need that. The old Italian level amounts of seasoning. Bit of drizzle. There we are. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Let's throw in a spot of the old seasoning that we didn't use for the chicken. I don't know. I'm, you know, provided that they look feasible purchase-wise and of interest, I'll take suggestions that you chaps already gave me to. I've noted them down somewhere. But yes, if you ever want to see how not to play certain games, I am your man. The first time I ever played PUBG, I had the mouse sensitivity so high, I quite literally hit everything but the poor gentleman stood in the corner of the building who looked utterly perplexed, ran at me to hit me with a saucepan, and in desperation I threw a grenade at my feet and killed us both. That was my entry into the world of that particular game, and it's only sort of not got better from there, really. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun. You join me for the ride and see. You know, we can succeed and fail together. And Mrs. Owl can, you know, chortle quietly in the background. Oh, that was one I wanted to do with you. It was the Call of Duty ones, because you always loved them because you could memorise the maps. And Mrs. Owl could then be my spotter. She could tell me where to go, what to do. And then watching horror as I get it wrong and totally waste her time and good effort. Right, here we are. Nice big healthy ball of veg. When in doubt, season well. And let the vegetables do the work for you. Let's get that in. So, let's see how this chicken is doing. What have I done with my oven mitt? Oh, it's over here. How are we doing on the chicken front? Oopsie daisy. I did that so hard I knocked the charger out. Voila! On chicken. As if you chaps didn't know what a chicken looked like.
Remember to wash the veg.
I already did. If you ever need someone to help you with the zombies mode of Call of Duty, I'm your man. I used to be utterly obsessed. There we go.
Oh, I love to Call
Oh,
of
did
Duty
you?
zombies.
Did
Yeah.
you? There we go. Let's add that to the list. When we get round to that, Snozza, let us do battle against the ungodly hordes, and shall smite them with... I'm losing the plot. Hang on. Is Call of Duty Zombies, is it like ancient, or is it...
Nazi zombies.
Nazi
That's one
zombies.
that I used to watch, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know if they're still Nazis, but they were when I was one.
Wouldn't it be funny if being undead changed their political...
What, and they become like Stalinists?
Yeah, they actually realise, hang on a minute, we are the bad guys. I've had a change of heart. Down with Hitler, up with the chaps that follow them. Sorry, that was a really poor follow on there from. Okay, the Reich, was it the Reich? No, not the Reichstag. I can't remember what came after. I'm showing a failure of memory there, but yes, Mr. Nosler, consider it noted.
What came after that? Peace?
Well, peace, yes. Yes, peace did indeed follow. I'm just thinking, what government? It was was it the Weimar government that came afterwards, or?
I don't know.
I should.
You're the one who did history.
I did history, and I can't remember. That's appalling, and it just shows. Well, it shows that my memory is appalling. Right. Well, Mrs. Owl wanted stuffing, so let's do some stuffing. Oh, come on! It was made for that joke. In fact, I'm going to tell this story. My mother, a wonderful woman, served as a captain in Her Majesty's Territorial Army at a time when most women didn't. And one night serving at the mess, because apparently that's what the junior officers did, calmly walked up to a brigadier and simply said, "Do you want stuffing, brigadier?" Apparently the drink he had came out of his nose. God bless my mother. Terrifying woman with a submachine gun. And drove a tank. She doesn't want me telling that story though. She was. I didn't drive it for long, so you drove a tank. Doom Eternal, I was thinking of purchasing. I must admit, I'm not so much with the Doom because RC and KP won't remember this, but I was around at his house once, and he said, "Go and have a go at this game." And honestly, it was terrifying. The graphics were high, I didn't know what was going on, and literally I didn't know what the buttons were, and something just literally, a panel fell down from the roof. I was so stunned, I looked up and just nucleared everything within 5 metres. But I'll have a look at the trailers, see if I can be persuaded. It's one of those, I've never even played the originals, so I don't know a great deal about it. So let's get our stuffing mixture together. Splash hot liquid on myself. Not sure I've actually put enough of the mixture in there. It's something of an eyeballed measure. Let's let that sit for a minute. we are there. So that will sit. We'll get that in just a few minutes once it's settled. And here we are. We've got our Giardiniera. Oh, we haven't taste tested the Giardiniera yet. I still don't know what to do with this piece of garlic because it's blue. I'm going to look it up. If it's okay, I'll put it back in, but otherwise. So we've got that, our jar, and then we're already down 20% original price. I wonder whether or not some more games will go down given everything that's going on. I do wonder. Well, gents, I think, simply put, that's about it from us from this evening. So what we're going to do, and for anyone, again, if there's anyone in the background and I'm not saying hello, I'm not being rude, I just don't know that you're there. I'm going to keep pressing the viewer button, but it still tells me there's nobody here. Joe, Mr. Nosley, you are figments of my imagination. I'm chatting to an empty room. That's not thick enough. So what we're going to do, I think, is we're going to reconvene tomorrow to finish off this jam and see whether or not I've made Frankenstein's monster or a thing of joy to behold. Or if I've made something that I can't possibly put on toast, which I've suddenly realised is really what I do want to do. And then after that, it's a case really of who knows, I'm afraid. It's going to depend what I can get ingredient-wise, what we can do. Mrs. L came up with the clever suggestion of maybe we'll do an episode mimicking wartime rationing, of whip something up from the fridge and what you've got. And just open the pantries, see what we have, and we'll cook it for you. Live to television. Well, actually, I've thought of one more thing I need to do. You ready for some more innuendos, gents? I have to form my balls. Form our stuffing balls. Right. Just leave that to sit for a bit. It's still a bit wet, this. I was also impressed with the trailers for League of Legends. It was one of those where I went and watched the Alice Penn that needed less liquid. Well, it did, Alice. Quite right. Unfortunately, it's already in. And what I'm basically doing now is thickening it gently. Whoops. Starting to look, well, if I'm honest, gents and Alice, not so great. Less liquid on what I think more may be required here. Here we go again, folks. Fast whipping action with the wrist. We'll get that mixed in nice and quick. I think that's as good as we're going to get it, I'm afraid. I think let's try and form some quenelles. See them do it on MasterChef all the time. Admittedly, I think with something a little less goopy than this. How about that, folks? Rough and ready quenelle. Is it quenelle? 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 Genuine question over there, my love. How do you pronounce it?
Quenelle?
Quenelle?
Yeah.
Quenelle? Quenelle. Quenelle. Either way, they're not balls of stuffing. They are now peaked mounds. Getting into Nigella Lawson territory again, so we'll steer away here from description of stiff peaks. And yet, there we are again. Gentle canelling action. Although I am forgetting to do it on camera, which sort of defies the point. Professional stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Professional. Here we are. Anyone want to suggest a better technique? I am open ears. This is amateur hour. Amateur hour in the English countryside. last of it out. Ice cream. So do you know, Mr. Nozzle, I haven't got an ice cream scoop. That would have made it easier. Instead, try and show off. Shall I see? Oh, I was going to say, can I do the last one perfectly? I haven't got enough material for that. Go on, let's try it. Oh, no. What I've done is I've flung half of it across the kitchen. I'm just going to add that to that. Nobody will know. Except you guys, and you're not going to rat me out, so it's fine. You're not going to tell anybody. You're good folk. Aren't they? Aren't they, love? They're marvellous folk. There we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. You will not need 8. I've clearly just got that completely wrong. And made far too much. In we go. Right, folks. I've had a lot of fun, and I hope you have too. That is, however, it for me, apart from a bucket load of washing up, because I've made a right awful mess. So, plan is jam part 2, jam harder tomorrow. We'll come back and see what we can salvage, what we can make. I'm going to have a look at my plan of ideas of things to make and things to do. And we're going to decide on a game plan, because all of us are going to have to be obviously careful for the next, well, at least 12 weeks for the most part. So all I'll say is until then, have a lovely, lovely Sunday evening. And do look after yourselves, look after your families, look after your loved ones. Be in touch with them as much as you can. Especially since we can't see them face to face if we're being good. And yes, all of our best to everybody's families, even if you're quiet, well, especially if you're watching quietly in the background. I don't need to say this to Joe and Mr. Nozzle, but if you ever want to see more of this, just there's a follow button I've learnt about. You click it there, you'll see whenever we come on and to do bits and pieces. It's always lovely to chat to you. It makes this fun. And I shall put a link to the nice chap in Manchester who's just started streaming again whilst he's struggling so much with his business. Go and have a look at his stuff too. He's a marvellous chap. Very, very friendly man. But until then, we've only got until tomorrow until we see you lovely folks again. So... Oh, hang on. Wait. Hold that thought, everybody.
I don't tend to say goodbye.
There you go. We don't do this single-handedly. So it's... A lovely night from me, lovely night from Mrs. Owl. We'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
And here comes my hand.